So I don't know if anyone on the council talked to him or if they just decided it couldn't be heard.
All right. Take care of that. So who, is anybody here to speak to this?
Just on this first one, we have the partners.
Okay.
And then,
Oh, thank you.
remember to bring other shoes.
Why is this only from April 15th?
It's okay, you're down here, right? I have heels if you want to slip them on. No, don't worry. If you're comfortable. I think it's a license.
How come this license only April 15th?
State law over.
Jerry, that's what we do.
It has not, so all the licenses. I'm gonna pull this back here.
Okay.
And then,
Is Jerry coming tonight?
all right.
Oh, look, the
Is it 6:30?
water being talking.
Yep, that's what I thought.
All right, well, it's 6:30. Call the meeting to order. Say the Pledge of Allegiance.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I just have a couple comments. One, I just want to thank the street crews for the good job they've been doing with all the snow lately. And we've all noticed the potholes coming out. Just want to mention that's the same crew that's plowing the snow. And if it'll stop snowing, we can get to the potholes. So let's be patient. I also want to mention that I've invited the city of Goodview and Winona County, since we have a new mayor in Winona and Goodview and a new county board chair in Winona County, and it's been a few years since we've had a state of the city or the state of the county. On April 4th at 7:30 a.m., we will hold that discussion here in the council chambers. And that's all I had. City manager?
I just want to bring the council and the public a little bit up to date on a concern that we have that we've been watching very carefully at the legislature, and that concerns local government aid. And certainly we're paying great attention to the formulas that have been presented and how that impacts Winona, making sure that Winona ends up at least whole from where we have been in the past. Under the governor's proposed budget, Winona would have lost money in 2018, but he made a presentation to the coalition and stated that he's open to looking at a new formula for local government aid. And as a result of that, a new formula has been prepared and is going to be distributed that brings into numerous groups have signed on to that formula, and that includes the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities, the League of Minnesota Cities, Metro Cities, and the Class 1 cities, which are Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Duluth. So it's a coalition of a number of organizations have proposed a new formula that will be going forward here soon. It does keep Winona whole at this point, and that's something that we're extremely interested in, assuming that there's a small increase in funding for that program. So I will keep the council up to date, but I wanted to make sure you knew that we're watching it very carefully and following what happens with local government aid. And that's all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Mayor Peterson.
Here.
Councilman Thurley.
Here.
Craig. Alexander. Here. Iden. Borzakowski.
Here.
Double.
Here.
Under the requests and communications, we have item 3.1. It's the application for wine and 3-2 malt liquor license for the Boathouse. And Tom Fassbender, Leo Smith, and maybe not Ed. Tom is here anyway if you have questions. The licenses would be in effect from April 15th through June 30th.
I move approval of the license.
I'd second.
Motion by George, second by Michelle. Discussion? Questions for Tom?
No
Al?
questions, I just hope the snow will be gone by the time April 15th rolls around. Good luck.
And when is that building being painted?
Well, obviously, weather is an issue, Mayor.
But it's planned on this.
Yes, there
spring?
is some
Okay.
planned work that the city will be doing on the building.
Okay, all George?
What hours will you be running, or open, I guess?
Mr. Mayor, members of council, right now the plan is to be, we'll be open 7 days a week, April through at least October, and probably be 9, 10, Monday through Thursday, 10, 11, Friday, Saturday, and brunch on the weekends, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Other questions? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Item 3.2 is the Winona Earth Day Council request. This year will be held at Levy Park on April 20th.
I'll move to approve that request.
Moved by Michelle,
Second.
seconded by Pam. Discussion?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there a representative from that group here? Oh, okay. Thank you. Have you in the past, when you've held this, also asked for the four-way stop at 2nd Street in Johnson?
No, this is the first time that we'll be at Levy Park, and
Okay.
so we just know that's a tough intersection to cross, and we have a big bike component to the event. And one of the recommended bike routes that we're planning to suggest is that bikers use Johnson Street. And so being able to slow down traffic, we're planning to staff it with volunteers, kind of acting as crossing guards as well, so that we would have additional visuals there as well, and getting people across 2nd Street.
I'm a little concerned about that because stopping traffic for one day like that, or even during those hours, is probably going to be a little more confusing than it really needs to be. I know we do a temporary stop during Steamboat Days at 2nd and Center Streets.
Yeah.
And that seems to be something, that's why I asked you if you've done that before, and I think people are used to that in the past. But
Yeah.
I have a real concern about putting in a four-way stop at that intersection. I know there was one years ago.
Oh, there was.
But, you know,
Yeah, and we went back and forth on it too, whether it would be, good when we visited with the city manager about it. You know, that putting a stop sign there doesn't mean people won't see it when they're coming, like they won't know that it's there. And so part of the intention would be to staff it with crossing guards as well, just to help people get across safely with families and kids on bikes and, so.
I'll go along with it. I have a real concern about it, but I think you've answered my question by saying you'll have somebody there on staff who, you know, might madly wave their arms or some kind of indication to drivers that they have to stop on 2nd Street.
And we'll monitor it very carefully as well, and if it isn't a good idea, we won't ask for it again.
Okay.
So we'll make sure we watch it carefully.
Good. Thank you for the explanation.
Following up on that a little bit, is there any other way of marking or demarking the stop sign besides just a stop sign? So can we flash some lights? I don't know what is allowed in terms of traffic. Can we flash lights or just so people will be aware that there's something unusual going on?
Yeah, I'll maybe visit with the street department and see if some temporary pedestrian crosswalks, or if there's something that they can help us with that makes it a little jazzier. Maybe some shiny flags for.
Banner across the street or something.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank you for choosing Levy Park to hold Earth Day.
Yeah, well, I think it'll be a nice change, and with the partnership with Midwest Music Fest, and I think it'll be nice. I'm excited to use the space.
Other questions, comments? Thank you. Hearing none, all those in favor, the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Item 3.3 is the Midwest Music Fest request for April 18th, 19th, and 20th.
I'll move to approve that request.
I would second that.
Motion by Michelle, second by Pam. Al?
I have another question on a street closure.
And I know Sam is here.
Yeah, Sam. You've asked us to close 3rd Street, Franklin East. How far east are you going toward Kansas?
Half a block east.
So the businesses that are between the middle of the block and the other street, Kansas, would have access for their customers?
Yes, yep, it's
Okay.
the same setup that we did last year.
Okay,
So, yeah.
good. No, that's fine.
Other questions? Okay, thank you, Sam.
Yep.
We'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Item 3.4 is the Winona Schools Global Trot 5K request for Saturday, May 11th.
Move to approve that request.
Motion by
I'll second
George,
it.
seconded by Al. Discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Item 3.5 is the request for street closure by Brad and Gabby Peterson for the cul-de-sac at the west end of Windcrest Drive.
I'll move to approve that request.
Second.
Motion by Al, seconded by Michelle. Discussion?
Just a question to the people that, and maybe when you send out the, assuming this would pass the approval for it, that if they haven't already, they should let fire departments know that there is that street closure.
All right, Mayor and Council, whenever we have street closures, we copy police, fire, street department.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Item 3.6 is to amend the street closure request by Live Well Winona. This is for their event on May 11th. They're requesting the street closure be amended to 9 a.m. to noon.
Move to approve that amendment.
Second.
Motion by George, seconded by Pam. Discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Item 3.7 is the appointments to the Heritage Preservation Commission of Kendall Larson and Andy Bladorn.
Move to confirm those appointments.
Second.
Motion by Al, seconded by Michelle. Discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Item 3.8 is appointments to the Board of Adjustment, reappointment of Laura Preem and Jeremy O'Laughlin, and appointment of Marcia Neff.
I move to separate the reappointment from the appointments.
There's a motion to separate the appointments from the appointment.
I'll second that.
Seconded by George. Discussion? We'll vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. Discussion?
We need a motion to,
Oh, a motion for the reappointments. All right.
So moved.
Moved by Paul,
Second.
second by Michelle. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right.
and now
We'll talk about the,
Need a motion.
I would move to appoint Marcia Neff to the Board of Adjustment, please.
Second that.
motion by Al, seconded by Pam. Discussion?
The only comment that I would have, there was an editorial, a letter in the paper, which indicated that some issues that are very sensitive to small business, that she was in opposition to, and I, as a result of that, will not be voting for her confirmation, since many of the business community face the Board of Adjustment.
Any other comments? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
2 opposed. Motion carries.
Mayor, I think they need to face their microphones towards themselves because I've had
Oh.
complaints that they can't always hear us. There we go.
Okay. Good point.
Item 3.9 has been pulled from the agenda at the request of the homeowner. So we will go to item 7.1 as council concerns.
Al, you want to start?
Sure, thank you, Mayor. First, sympathy to the family and friends of Bill Dorr, who passed away recently. Bill was a businessman. He also served on the Winona Housing and Redevelopment Authority back in the years when I was the council representative there, and also served as the director of the Winona HRA for many years as well, and he will be missed and thanked for his contributions to our community. And also a belated recognition of the March 11th earthquake that affected our sister city, Masato, Japan. It's the second year anniversary of that event, and we thank again all those who helped raise funds for the rebuilding and the recovery of our sister city. Third, I share the mayor's comments on the street plowing and caring for our streets. It's been a long winter, and apparently today a little longer one for all of us, and they're doing excellent work that I've been observing, and I haven't had anyone call me with any concerns about that. And wish good luck to Winona State's men's basketball team as they take on Minnesota State University Mankato in their game tomorrow night in Mankato.
Okay, thank you. Michelle?
Just a thank you to Ed Kroll for I don't know how many years, 30 plus, has he worked for the city? And congratulations on his retirement. In the short time I've been here, I've gotten to know him a little bit, and I really appreciated him as a fire chief and the way he ran his department. So thank you, Ed.
Paul?
Just to also confirm about Bill Dorr.
Pam? George?
Okay, first of all, happy retirement to Councilman Thurley. So, since I've seen you, a week ago you retired, you look like you're doing quite well with retirement, so congratulations.
One day at a time, George.
Judy, just a couple of questions here on street reconstruction. Now, this year, we're going to be doing Franklin Street,
Correct.
and that's going from 2nd to Broadway? Or are we going further than that?
I think we're going further than that. I can't remember the cross street at this time.
Now, is that all state aid, or is
Yes,
that?
it's a total state aid project.
And do we have any?
And it's 3 phases. This will be the first phase.
Okay.
So we'll be doing it over the next 3 years.
And we have any money invested in that at all, or is it all assumed by the state?
Well, it's all part of what the city receives as
Okay.
state aid. It's
Okay.
not paid for by the state, it's money that the city gets for its streets.
Okay, okay.
And it's our local state aid.
Okay, and
money
that
that
state
comes
aid
from the
money,
state.
none of that can be used on residential streets?
Correct, it can only be used on state aid streets.
Okay,
And we
fine.
designate those every year.
Okay. Okay, I just want to be clear on that for myself here. So, there's been a lot of press lately on the project down by the levee that the committee is in charge of looking at. And, the council itself doesn't know much on it yet. More or less what I know is what I read in the paper. And I certainly don't have a problem with that because that committee is in charge of coming up with plans and ideas for that levee project. But one thing I would just like to make the public aware of and this council aware of, that during the campaign, of course, Mark, you talked quite a bit on levee project. And all of us sitting here at this council table that ran for office last year, we're talking about financing of this project, as far as money goes, and now we're kind of looking for $15,000. And I just simply like to note that at our political forum that we had at the Winona Civic Association, you clearly stated that you would have donors to do this project. So I just simply want to, I'm not up to debate it now, but it was stated at that meeting, and every one of us here that was there heard it, you had donors to do this project. So as we continue on down, I just want the committee and the public to be aware that that was stated, so.
That I have enough donors to do the entire park redevelopment, George?
It was stated at the Civic Association meeting, so anyway.
You misunderstood.
Well, I was sitting right, anyway, we can discuss that
clearly
another time, we were sitting right there, so. Okay, and also, I made the news myself as well that my truck disappeared, and I was asked if Mark Peterson took the truck. He did not take the truck, so he probably would have drove it down to Levy Park if he would have taken it. But anyway, the truck was returned. I'd like to thank the media, the radio, the newspaper for coverage on it, and it was returned safely, and I did drive it to the meeting tonight. And I had a lot of people come up and thank me that have said, thank you, because what happened now is we're all pulling our keys out of our vehicles, sitting in the driveway and in the garages. So anyway, I guess we all learned the hard way. And condolences as well, too, to mention the Bill Dorr family. I'd also like to pass on condolences to the Chickanowski family on the passing of Robert Chickanowski. We all know him as Bob Chick. Went many years into life. Longtime East End resident. He anchored that corner of Mankato and Mark Street for many, many years, and a very crafted refrigeration and air conditioning repairman, very crafted in his field. And one thing about Bob, as he began to, grow a little bit younger, it never slowed him down from going places he always went. And I know when I would see him, if he had something politically to say, he would tell it to you, and most of the time he was right. So anyway, condolences to Mike and to Dr. Jerry and Mary and David on the passing of father and grandfather. Thank you.
Under the consent agenda, there are 5 items. The approval of the minutes from March 4th, the final adoption of an ordinance to amend the zoning in Pleasant Valley to R1, the final adoption of an ordinance to set the zoning of County Road 17 properties to RS, the ordinance to amend the zoning regulations for bed and breakfast, and a claim against the city by Kurt Hoffmaster.
I would move to approve the consent items.
I'd second.
Motion by Al, seconded by Michelle. Discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Second, and all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We're adjourned.
Have a good week.
So,